As I previously told you, we were going to have a 2-part topic discussion. And here goes number 2, struggling with your sexual orientation. It's time we take the shame away from different topics and remove the Band-Aid. It is. It's time we take it away. Y'all got a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. I'm unsure what type of first aid y'all are conducting at this point. Struggling with your sexual orientation can take place before you come out or after you come out or even both. Shit, it might even happen during. You never know. As I previously told you, I watched the documentary on L Word, Mississippi. It's available on Amazon Prime. It was pretty amazing. And essentially, multiple churches gathered together to hold a ministry called Coming Out Conference. The ministry was held in Mississippi with the mission to pray the gay away. That was literally their slogan, pray the gay away. All of these people had similar stories as to myself with church trauma and how it affected their autonomy and how it affected their mental health. I want to discuss this documentary and the story shared about struggling with your sexual orientation. So the pastor who held the coming out conference referred to the LGBTQIA. Y'all killing me with all these letters, but I'm gonna get every single one every single time. I promise you. But anyways, basically compared it to the same as bestiality or perversion. The people in Dying to Live ministry was marrying people who were gay to help them overcome their homosexuality. The effect of the program drove many, I ain't talking about 1 or 2, many into using drugs to cope with the pain of identifying as homosexual, but also having that religious aspect to themselves. I was disturbed by this. They were using drugs to try to numb the pain or suicide because of not being accepted and respected. In reality, you don't really even have to accept it. You can still have your personal beliefs. But what in the Bible tells you to not respect the next person? What in the Bible tells you to teach hatred? What in the Bible tells you to only discuss one particular thing and target these people like as if they're terrorists? What? I was so lost on this whole point of this ministry. The pastor stated the ministry was created to respond to the gay agenda. What gay agenda? Sway, please tell me, where is the gay agenda? Representation is not going to make people be gay, because guess what? There was gay people before you even had representation. They just didn't see themselves. So where is the logic? I'm a logical person. I like to think in logic. Where is the logic behind that? Them seeing gay people is not going to turn them gay. It's not. So in the movie, there was this girl called Cam. I'm going to call her Cam. The son called her Cam, but I'm going to call her Cam like the wife did. Like I know her or something. But she was in this relationship with this woman who had 2 kids. She was discussing marriage with her partner, who her name was Amber. I apologize. They have been together 4 years. They're an interracial same-sex couple in Mississippi. Overall, they come from a religious background, so they prayed at night together and everything else. Cam would pray every night for mercy and ask for, she would repent due to her sexual orientation. Cam made a statement she could not see herself dying as a lesbian. And so in my mind, I'm like, well, why are you getting married? Are you just gonna be with Amber until you're like 65 and you're gonna be like, ooh, I'm close on death door, let's go ahead and split? Like, I was a little confused behind the logic of that. And I would love to have a conversation with her to understand what is the purpose, because I'm a little confused. But Cam, I'm not singling you out. There are a lot of people who feel like that. I know I had a couple friends who came home and their significant other gave them the similar speech like, I'm getting older. I don't know how much longer I have. I can't continue down this lifestyle. And that's okay. You have every right to do that. As hurt as my friends were, they moved on. Got even better. Shout out to my people. Y'all know exactly who y'all are. But there's a lot of people that actually think like this. And so as strange as the thought was, it's a real thought. So there was another couple on there. It was Dr. Bell and Kim. Dr. Bell is married to Kim. They are married in the state of Kentucky because Mississippi doesn't allow gay marriages. And Dr. Bell is in the process of transitioning from a woman to a man. So his pronouns are he. Dr. Bell actually brought about a really good topic, and it was his fears was that when he died, his wife would not be eligible to the benefits, and vice versa. If his wife was the one to have passed, he wouldn't be the next of kin and he would not be contacted. And then they had a fear because they were having a baby that the state of Mississippi would award the grandparents who hated Dr. Bell custody of his child. And so it was very disturbing to see them going through the emotional battles of dealing with their sexual orientation and also dealing with their identity. Now, Kim married Dr. Bell when he identified as a woman and they were in a lesbian relationship. And then he decided to transition. Kim was discussing her struggles to deal with his sexual identity now. But, you know, she like, this my boo, I love him. We gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off. So shout out to you, Kim, for being a ride or die. So then they had this other couple. It was Jana and Danica. I hope I pronounced your names right. They have been together for 1 year. They are also an interracial couple. They have children together, but the weird concept in that one, and there's no judgment in the zone at all. From none of my videos are there any judgment. I might laugh, play, but there's no judgment. Everybody's living their life the way that they know how. But they decided to raise the child with the concept that it doesn't have two parents or two mothers, and that Jana was just like another person in the house. And so that's okay. I get that too. Danica's mother was super negative and verbally abusive. It was insane. Like, this lady, I mean, first off, let me give her props for still coming around, because some of them wouldn't even come around. But then at the same time, it's like, if you're going to come around and be so negative, why should you come around? I personally wouldn't want you to come around. But then in the same token of her being super, super negative, she apologized. And then in that same breath, she turned around and correlated the two to pedophilia. And I was like, this lady's all over the place. Anyways, Danica tried to join a church, and they refused to baptize her because of her sexual orientation. That was sad, and it was very disturbing, and it was disgusting. So as I watched what this couple was going through, I really felt bad because it was like they were getting hit from every angle. Jana was not out the closet and really had no desire to come out the closet because she saw all the consequences that Danica was going through. So she's like, why do I want to go subject myself to that level of abuse? And I get it. No judgment here. Now, throughout this documentary, you would often hear them address homosexual lifestyle with pedophilia. It was disgusting. Those two are not the same. They both might have a sexual preference to it, an element to it, but those are not the same. One hurts somebody. One makes someone grow up and have issues. One doesn't. It is going to get into this debate, but we're not going to get into this debate. I do feel that homosexuality is something that people are born with, but it is a choice to act on. I know people that are miserable living their life trying to be heterosexual when in their heart they know that that's not who they are. So not even going to discuss that, but those two are not the same. They're not the same. They are not the same. They are not the same. They are not the same. And it literally freaked me out every time I heard a comparison. So this is the type of hate that is displayed, which enhances an already difficult process of accepting yourself. Just imagine you're trying to go through the motions of mentally figuring out where you are in life, and someone's constantly throwing hate at you. It makes the process very difficult. Struggling with your sexual orientation can create a subconscious level of self-hatred that is internalized, just like Cam and just like what Renee experienced. So let's discuss Renee in this documentary. Renee was a woman who believed she had overcome her sexual orientation by praying. She was trying to wear women's clothing, and you could tell she was still struggling with her sexual orientation, because sis was dead still wearing boy clothes around certain people, and she acted a certain way around other people. You might be trying to fool people in your family, but you have not fully hit this point of, I'm not gay. You're not. So her son ends up coming out gay. Her son name is Devon, and she felt like it was her fault that he was gay. Again, I'm a logical person. I'm trying to understand, if you being gay made your son, or you being a lesbian, made your son gay, then what happens when heterosexual couples have a gay or lesbian or trans child? I'm confused on the logic, but somehow they try to make it make sense to themselves, right? And so she makes this really disturbing comment at the end of the documentary, and I hope that they really got her help. But she said that before she finds herself going back to that lifestyle, she prays every night to God that he either takes her or she's going to commit suicide. Now, I ain't judging nobody, but sis, did you finish reading the rest of that Bible? Because going in that Bible, it talks about you not being able to kill yourself. So I was a little disturbed, but I really hope that they gave her some assistance or offered her some resources. So the documentary also discussed the violence that these people had to encounter while they were just trying to live their truth. That's it. And that brings on about our topic of the LGBTQ community and our suicide rates. They are extremely high. Do you know, reported by the Trevor Project, 4 times, someone in the LGBTQ youth are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than their hetero peers. The suicidal ideation is based on a mixture of things dealing with their sexual orientation or identity, and how they are treated, and the stigma surrounded around the community. Trevor Project believes that most of it is based purely off of the treatment, which I will agree. I do believe the treatment that people endure sometimes plays a major part, but I don't think that's the only part. I think there's a natural process of struggling with your orientation. A survey conducted by the Trevor Project reported that over 45%, let me say that again, over 45% of the LGBTQIA youth reported seriously considering suicide. To those who want to change their religious belief, that is okay. You have your right to live your truth. Those who choose to walk their truth, that's your right. It's okay. Live your truth. I'm not judging. Anyone listen to this podcast, I want you to remember that after every storm, there is a rainbow. You may be in the storm right now, but it won't last always. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I don't want to minimize the way that you're feeling, because the way that you're feeling is valid. But I want you to understand that there's resources and there's help out there. All you have to do is seek it. Get a mentor as well. Stories like this are common. I remember that I struggled with my sexuality, and it was a very difficult period for me. Everything that went wrong in my life, I contributed it to me being gay. However, I needed to seek help and support on the journey. And things started to improve as I did the work. Remember, therapy is work now. It ain't just you talking and venting. So I actually had to do the work to start seeing the change. Not everyone struggles with their sexual orientation. And for those who don't, kudos. You're very fortunate. However, those who do suffer, there is help and there is nothing wrong with you. I hope this video reaches someone who is young and living their truth to know that you are loved and you are special. I don't care what anyone says to you. I don't care how much hate is spewed your way. You are loved and you are special, and you can be what you destine yourself to be. There's nothing wrong with you, despite the campaigns of hate that you see going on to the left or right of you. If you are suicidal, please get help. That is not the solution. If you are involved in self-harm, please stop and learn to love yourself. And also seek services. There's people out there that can help you. You might need a therapy session. You might just need some coaching. You might need a group session. You might need to meet other people in certain seasons of their life that is similar to yours. But there is help out there, and there's no reason for you to suffer alone. You just might need a mentor, someone who's already navigated and went down that path. But figure out what you need, explore the different options that are available to you, and seek help. I appreciate these people in this documentary for sharing their story, for opening the dialogue for us to have these different conversations, because a lot of people don't want to share their stories. It's traumatic. It was a period of their life where they went through a lot of pain, and they would prefer to just not relive it. And I completely understand that. But I appreciate those who were raw and vulnerable and open to the topics of discussion and struggling with your sexual orientation, because there are people who are struggling with their sexual orientation. And I want you to know that you are not alone. The feelings that you are having, you are not alone. Just seek help. Again, my LGBTQIA professional society is a route. It is a mentor program for our youth. It is time for our older generations like myself to step up to the plate and help our younger generations. Okay. So again, I will leave my contact information at the end. I will also leave some resources at the end if you find yourself feeling suicidal, or if you feel like, or you are participating in self-harm. Just know that the storm will not last always. Peace, and y'all find peace.